What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and in this video, I'm going to be continuing my level 1 to overpower level 8 playthrough. In the previous video, I did find out that my level 56 Shock Lyuda is well underpowered for taking on a level 63 Pete. And so instead, I have come here, and we're going to try to farm for a new Shock Lyuda. It could take literally forever, by the way, so don't get your hopes up about something super exciting here, because chances are this is not going to be the most thrilling of episodes. This is probably going to be something that is absolute bullshit, that's not going to be very fun for us at all. I can tell you with absolute certainty that after, really trying out here, I mean, I've put quite a bit of time into this whole legitimate playthrough thing. I've played further than the game's first level cap, further than the game's second level cap, and now we're actually working on what I consider to be the meat of the game. So we've played for quite a while now here totally legitimately, and I can tell you that I have thoroughly enjoyed it absolutely less than I would if I had just gibbed gear, This is not an enjoyable part of the game for me at all. And I hope we find a Shock Lyuda eventually, because I really don't want to be here forever. But it's very possible that we could be here till level 72. And then we could go another 10 years after that without finding a Shock Lyuda. I found a Fire Lyuda in the previous episode, which I'm using right now, by the way. It's level 63, so I don't really need another Fire Lyuda at all. I don't really need it. I don't want it. I don't need another one. So there is, 1/5 of all Lyudas that can spawn that I don't need. Now that I have a Shock Bone of the Ancients, I don't want a non-elemental at all. So there's a total of 40% of the Lyudas that I don't want or need. And in fact, if either a fire or a non-elemental dropped, I would probably be disappointed. And then beyond that, there's the chance that we could get a Slag Lyuda, which is totally fucking useless. More useless than a non-elemental. And at that point in time, so there's 60%, literally 3/5 of all Lyudas that are possible I don't want. What I really want is a Shock one, but a Corrosive one could be useful, Our Corrosive one is as obsolete as our Shock one, basically. So a Corrosive one could be useful, but what I really need right now is a Shock one, and I haven't seen it yet. So we're gonna keep looking. It wasn't that long ago that I recorded the previous episode, so farming's kind of still fresh on my mind, I guess. And I felt like I was getting pretty bad luck in that last episode. You know what I mean? I hadn't found a Lyuda in some time before I got that fire one that I'm using now. But that's not really that great. I love how this guy is always such a pain in the ass too. I'm enthralled with the fact that they give him that kind of mobility. That's awesome. I just fucking give him a jetpack so that he can jump around right before your deception ends. That's fucking wonderful. I'm disappointed with the player's mobility in this game. I would love it if the characters moved faster and could jump longer or higher or anything like that. They adjusted the mobility mechanics in Borderlands the pre-sequel, but I think it was a turn for the worse. The low gravity and everything made the game feel slower and thus less fun. It felt too floaty. It felt too cumbersome to play, too much of a drag to explore and everything, and I wasn't really a fan of that. I think that was a common complaint that people had as well. I hope that they totally abandon that low gravity double jump shit in Borderlands 3, because that was a step in the wrong direction. Okay, so this time we're going to get a Shock Lyuda. I feel it. I've turned Sheet Engine all the way up. We're actually about to get 17 Shock Lyudas. This is going to be sweet. Mass drop coming up. Okay. In fact, Mobley's going to drop some Lyudas too. Yep. Not just Gettle anymore. Okay. Damn it. Give me a goddamn Lyuda. This is getting aggravating. If we make it to level 64 without getting a Lyuda yet, I'm going to just... I'm going to be disappointed, to say the least. what really gets me is that there are people who not only suggest that this is the way the game should be played, or that not only suggest that this is a better way to play the game, but try to impose that particular thought on others and talk down on those that use Gibbed. Like, I don't fucking understand that. I really don't, you know? Like, if people are creating weapons and gear that spawns in legitimately, you just need to waste your time looking for it, and they don't have time to waste their time looking for a shock Lyuda. Kind of the position I'm in right now. I don't know how anyone could say that by giving in that shock Lyuda, they have negatively affected their total game experience, because that's flat out not true. You know, all they've done is save themselves a few minutes to possibly an entire day or more of farming, you know, several hours of looking for a particular piece of gear. And there are people that suggest that those who are using Gibbed, you know, aren't really playing the game, or that they're playing the game quote unquote wrong. And there are people who have like this perverse pride or satisfaction that they receive from farming legitimately. I can tell you that farming legitimately has only made me feel like I'm wasting my time. You know, like I've done this farming legitimately thing here for some time now, and I can tell you that I absolutely find it to be inferior to just using Gibbed. Like, if we just used Gibbed, even if we were still leveling up legitimately, you know what I mean? But every 5 levels, I just get a perfect new set of Gromke, Vladoff-gripped Lyudas, and Malawan-gripped Banberry Pimpernels. I don't know how that could be a worse experience, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how anyone could even suggest that. We just get to waste, or, I mean, not waste, we just get to skip this particular waste of time, where we're eventually going to find inferior versions of those weapons if the game decides to be generous. That is a big if, you know? The game very well might not. It may be like, oh, well, you're just going to be here till you're level 72. That's when you're going to get a new Lyuda. Who knows? But what I can't understand is how someone would suggest that this is the right way to play the game, and that all other ways, you know, anyone using Gibbed or duping gear is playing it wrong. That, I can't understand some people perception on that. That is just weird to me. Put your head up. Okay, we have still yet to get a Lyuda in this episode. At all. I don't know how many runs I've done, but it's too many. It's too many to go without one. I really am beginning to lose my patience with this, you know, especially since we were doing it in the last episode as well. Some people have said that when they upped the drop rates recently, that took away from the game from them. They're not getting the same special feel that they used to get when they'd find a quote-unquote rare item. Well, if that's the case, every other rare item you get, throw away. Just don't pick it up. You know what I mean? Like, if a legendary drops, keep that legendary. If a second legendary drops, don't even look at it. If a third legendary drops, go pick up that legendary. A fourth, nope, don't look at it. And you can adjust that ratio to whatever you need in order to, you know, feel comfortable and feel special when you get that drop rate, you know, or you get that legendary drop or whatever. I can't understand how people were opposed to the raising of drop rates, you know, especially this late in the life cycle when you don't have as many people to play online matches with anymore and stuff like that. Like, I don't understand how people could be opposed to them raising the drop rates. Personally, I think they should triple it again. It's way too fucking low. You see how many times I've killed Gettle yet and I haven't got anything? It's still far too fucking low for my mind. You know what I mean? And what kills me is that they released the game without the final level cap being released. And then they upped the level cap. And guess what? That's not the final level cap either. So people farmed for gear, you know, at end game, you know, because I kind of see that as beating the game too. Beating the Warrior's not really beating the game to me. Beating the game would be getting to max level and then getting a gear set that you want. You know what I mean? That's kind of beating the game. But I'm not going to get any more satisfaction. So I say beating the game, getting to high level and then getting the gear you want, right? Well, and then also, playing the game at max level. Like, I did that whole playthrough where I beat the game. I beat every mission at OP8 as Sniper Zero and such. And that's kind of beating the game to me, playing the game at its highest level and stuff. But the gear that you have for that, how you got that, I don't care about, I tested all the gear in the game. That was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to try out all the different gear and see how I liked it and everything. I found that to be really fun. And so I guess I can see how some people would find it fun to sit here and farm all this stuff, but for them to then suggest that that's the only way to play the game and that everyone else is playing it wrong, no, I can't really get behind that. If people want to, spend all day farming for a shock Lyuda and then not get one, and then that's enjoyable to them, that's grand. I'm happy for them to like it that way. But to then tell everybody else that the way they play is the only way to play is a little bit weird. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just... it's a strange deal, that people are so proud of rolling dice, basically, It's just you kill an enemy over and over and over again, and then eventually it might drop what you need. Maybe. Who knows, It might not. It just kind of depends on how the game's feeling that day, I guess, or that particular run. But yeah, like if you know where to find Gettle, and Gettle drops the Lyuda and he's just not dropping a Lyuda, I see no problem with just going into Gibbed and getting yourself a shock Lyuda. That's what I want right now. So even if you were leveling up legitimately, and you just got tired of doing this over and over again and you wanted to move on, Gibbed adds to your experience in that case. It definitely does not detract from it. I don't want to be here doing this. I want to be farming Pete so that I can then be acquiring Seraph Crystals in order to get an antagonist shield, and also I could farm for a O negative while I'd be there. That'd be good, but like I don't know, man. No, so beating the game for me is getting to OP8 and then resetting it and then beating all the quests. That's beating the game for me. And the gear you have while you're doing that, whatever you have, it should be a good build. You know what I mean? Like, there should be synergy between your gear and your weapons, and your playstyle should be efficient. If you beat it without it, even better, I guess, But it should be that. But however you got to that level of efficiency, whether that was through Gibbed or legitimate farming or duping, that's irrelevant to me. I really don't care about that. And obviously, most people don't care what I think beating the game is. But I don't understand how some people say that farming is where the game is. It's the heart of the game. It's not to me, I don't really have another way to explain it. It's just beyond fun. It's past the point of unenjoyment. I can't enjoy this. I've made an attempt, I've done this whole playthrough completely legitimately to this point, and really tried to, I put it in the wrong skill. I really tried to experience it, the legitimate way. I had never done it before. But I can tell you right away that I think this is worse than playing it the other way. I absolutely do. 100% absolutely think this is worse than playing with Gibbed. 100%. I do not feel special when I find a piece of gear. That's what I can't understand people saying. Like, don't you feel special when you find a piece of gear? No, I really don't give a fuck. It's like the game decided to give me something. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's really quite stupid. There's no merit to doing it legitimately in my mind. There's absolutely no virtue of it. You know, it's not something that improves the experience at all. But if you want to, and it improves your experience, that's great. But for people to say adamantly and without question that if you don't play legitimately, you're playing wrong, no. Fuck that noise, dude. That's bullshit. God, how many times are we going to go without getting Lyuda? You know what I mean? Like, why? Another thing that I think is crazy, like I said, that people were farming before the level caps was raised. I think that was disingenuous by Gearbox to do, you know, to be like, oh, level 50 is our max level. And so people are like, ooh, you know, I want to go out and get all level 50 gear. For them, that's beating the game, you know? Like, I want to find every legendary item at level 50. So if that was someone's goal for beating the game, and then they fucking, oh, level 50 gear is useless now. Here's level 61. And they're like, oh. Well, they raised the level cap one time. They're not going to do it again. They only raised it once, or they raised it twice in Borderlands 1, didn't they? Ah, that's ridiculous. Release the game with the fucking max level available so that people don't waste their time farming for gear at max level just to have the max level nullified by a better, superior level coming out. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, you know what I mean? Like, I have to feel bad for those people that farmed gear at level 50, especially those who were looking for, say, an infinity pistol, a weapon that actually didn't drop from the enemy that it was said to drop from. You know, like, that is just sad. And there were people who were like, oh, I spent 12 hours looking for an infinity. There are people who claim to have farmed Doc Mercy for upwards of 20 hours and not found an infinity. You wouldn't give up after 20 hours. There's no point at like 15, 10, where you're like, hold on a second. I don't even fucking need an infinity pistol. And 2, I don't really think this piece of shit drops one. Especially considering a lot of people have, you know, kind of said that he doesn't drop that. Especially data miners who looked through the files and said, huh, he's not really associated with the infinity pistol in anything other than normal mode. He doesn't drop it in true Vault Hunter mode or ultimate Vault Hunter mode. So people should stop farming him. But then there were YouTubers who, you know, needed to make that dollar, and they needed to get out a guide for finding the infinity pistol because for some reason unbeknownst to me, the infinity pistol is a popular weapon. I don't really know why, you know, if, you know, for the same reason that like octagonal wheels aren't popular on cars, I can't imagine, or I can't figure out why the infinity pistol is popular in Borderlands 2. Well, yeah, it gets the job done. Just not as well as a round wheel would. But who cares, you know? I like driving with sides on my wheels. Wheels with corners aren't real wheels, you know? That's fucking stupid. Your wheel needs more corners. That's what your round wheel motherfuckers need. Why would you possibly use... It's just so stupid. I don't get it. You know what I mean? But, like, then there were people who kept farming it. For whatever reason, it was a popular weapon, and they had put in hours upon hours to look for this stupid infinity pistol. And then it turns out Doc Mercy doesn't even drop the fucking infinity pistol, and several YouTubers had lied about it. So it looks like we finally got a Lyuda at this point. We're lucky it came with the goddamn Hyperion grip, though. Thank God. Sweet. I needed that Hyperion grip on that thing, definitely. Still haven't got a shock one, though, so, yeah, we're gonna keep going, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, looking for that shock one, man. Ugh. This is just, yeah. So back to the infinity thing, right? So people were just farming for it, and then people start calling these YouTubers out. They're like, hey, man, you're lying to people. You're wasting people's time. All of your viewers, you lied to them. You know you lied to them. You faked a drop, and you fucking lied to them. You should apologize for that. You've wasted thousands of hours of hundreds of people's time, right? And, at least one in particular was very vocal about the fact that he didn't lie about it. He didn't fucking lie about it. I didn't lie about it. I worked so hard to find that pistol for you guys. I'm just trying to help you guys out, you know. I'm just trying to fucking help everybody. I can't believe people would accuse me of being disingenuous. And people believed it. You know what I mean? That's the crazy part. People believed some guy who calls them a genital over someone who data mined all the files in order to fucking create Gibbed, or help create Gibbed. You know what I mean? Like, people in the early days, I believe it was like Duncan Fogg. That sounds right. It's like some old Gearbox forum user. He's in the credits of Gibbed if you want to go on the about of the Gibbed program, or you want to go look in some of the credits on the website where it is, you know, downloadable, and determine what that guy's name is. I believe it was Duncan Fogg, and other people, though, had pointed out, you know, after they data mined the game and broke down all the gear, you know, hierarchies and all that stuff, and found all the item details and names and everything, they said, yeah, Dark Mercy doesn't drop the fucking Infinity Pistol. And then other people said, hey, I turned my legendary drop all the way up and with Cheat Engine, and Dark Mercy never drops the Infinity Pistol. But people are like, no. See, those aren't legitimate. Just because they turn Cheat Engine up, that doesn't mean that they would find an Infinity Pistol. They probably fucked the game up somehow, and that's why they're not farming it right, you know? And other people, you know, were like, oh, just because they can't data mine properly, they don't know how Borderlands is too complex for them. They don't understand it. Dark Mercy totally drops the Infinity Pistol. Some dude who calls me a genital, he said so. And people fucking rolled with that for a little while. That's why I made that video where I, you know, mocked that. I specifically mocked that video. I made it look as fake as fucking possible. And yet there were still people who were so naive that they're like, can you really get a mass drop? How do you do it? Can you teach me? Like, how could anyone be that foolish? You know what I mean? How is that possible? How could anyone possibly believe that a mass drop could exist? I made it so fake on purpose. It was so intentionally, obviously fake, you know? Like, and there were still people who believed it. That was the crazy thing. So I guess people will just believe whatever they see, but like there were people with, you know, credible documentation and tests that they ran trying to figure out why the Infinity Pistol was dropping for was not dropping from Dark Mercy for literally everyone that farmed it. And the several fake Infinity Pistol videos that were popular, you know, like the Infinity Farming Guides, they called them. That's the most disingenuous thing. Oh, I made you a guide. I'm trying to help you out. It's just full of shit, wrong information. You're like making a guide for securing your computer and just fucking downloading malware. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. Like, it's the worst disingenuous thing I can think of. But yeah, for some people, they didn't care. They're like, oh, he tried. He thought it was this way. He didn't say sorry, and he called everyone who called him out on it a piece of shit, basically. But he's still a good guy. He cares about his kids, you know? That's what's important. That guy just take my goddamn experience. What a dick. I can't believe that people fucking want to farm like this. I can't understand it. I really can't. Okay. So far we've gotten one Lyuda, and it's been in corrosive. I don't know if we'll ever get a shock one. I really don't. I don't imagine we will, to be honest. It's been a while now, so I don't know. But yeah, some people were so attached to farming, I guess, that they were willing to farm nothing. That blows my mind, that people were so attached to farming that they wanted to farm an item that the vast majority of people said didn't drop from a particular enemy. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to farm an item that doesn't drop? That's crazy, right? But whatever. They did patch it eventually. Dark Mercy does drop the Infinity Pistol now. But whatever. It's alright. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. But I can't wrap my head around why people like this so much. Why people would want to farm legitimately for gear. I don't get it, you know? I want to go farm Pete, but I can't farm Pete till I have a fucking better Lyuda. And the reason I want to farm Pete is because I know it gets me a shield that'll be fucking easy to buy. You know? Like, once we have the 120 Seraph Crystals, then we just have to save quit until there's an appropriate one. And I don't know how I'm going to determine what's an appropriate one either. Because I want to get a good one, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to want to waste all of my Seraph Crystals. But then again, we're not OP8 yet, so it's not our final resting place. It's not our final piece of gear. So, it doesn't need to be perfect, I guess. We'll just save quit a few times, kind of compare the stats at whatever level we're at, and then try to look for something with decent stats in there. I don't know. But, yeah, we also have to get lucky trying to farm a Slago negative grenade. I don't know how easy or difficult that will be. It all depends on what the game feels like giving us, I guess, or what the random number generator generates, what it spits out. We're at the mercy of that. I don't understand the decision they made to make certain Seraph items unpurchasable either. I don't quite get that, you know? Like, that's a little bit weird to me. Another thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the fact that they disabled Seraph Crystals in True Vault Hunter mode. I can understand them being disabled in normal mode. However, in True Vault Hunter mode, I do believe that Seraph Crystals should drop. In normal mode, maybe they, if you kill one of the Seraph raid bosses, they can actually drop a Seraph item, but it's only like 1 in every 3. You know what I mean? And then in normal mode, they drop them 1 in every 2, and Seraph items are purchasable. However, in True Vault Hunter mode, they only drop half as many crystals as they drop in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, or thereabout, you know what I mean? And so it takes longer to get one in True Vault Hunter mode than it does in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. But then at least you can farm them in True Vault Hunter mode. I think it's weird that you can't do that. That seems very strange to me. Okay. Let's go again. Oh, this is beginning to get less than fun. This is beginning to get awful. And we still, I mean, we got a corrosive one. We leveled up. But that's about it, you know. I don't know how much longer I want to go with this. I'm beginning to reach my wit's end with it. I want to get 2 videos up right now, you know, or 2 videos done this day, so that I can be ahead of the processing schedule on YouTube, so that when I make a video public, it's not at like 480p, you know, like it actually has a watchable resolution and frame rate available from the get. That would be best, but right now, I need to get this video done in order to do that, you know, so that's kind of what I'm working on, but yeah, farming doing 2 episodes of farming back to back, basically, that fucking blows, especially since I'm looking for 1 item. Just 1 item, not a plethora of items. I'm not trying to get a whole new suite of weapons. I'm not trying to get a new shield, a new relic, a new class mod, everything. I'm trying to get 1 fucking gun. I want 1 shock Lyuda. That's it. I just want 1. That's all. Just 1 shock Lyuda, and I haven't gotten it yet, and to be honest, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. I'm tired. I'm tired of this, primarily, but I'm also physically, you know, and mentally whole body tired, I guess. But I'm definitely tired of this. That is for certain. I just wish that, we'd get a shock Lyuda. We could be done. If it would just drop a shock Lyuda, I'd be so stoked. I'd go kill Pete 1 time, and then we'd start the next episode there. But we haven't got that yet, and it's beginning to get to the point where it is severely irritating me. Damn it. Are you kidding me? Fucking buzzard and shitty terrain combining to really aggravate me. This is why I don't run this way, because the buzzard can fucking attack you. That is so stupid. Come here. Okay. Oh, man. I'm so done with this. Please give me a shock Lyuda. I wish we got to fight 2 Gettles. Yeah, do that thing. Dang it, these tombstones are in my fucking way. There we go. Ooh, none of those slagged him, huh? That's fun. Wow. I wish that we could get a Lyuda. That'd be really quite stellar. I would love that. I would be so stoked to get a Lyuda, specifically of the shock variety. That'd be wonderful. But we don't have that yet. So instead, I'm going to go in here and buy ammo. Oh boy. I can't understand how some people derive pride from farming. I can't get it, you know. Not like physical, real life farming. I could derive pride from that. That's actually a pretty admirable deal, you know. You use the earth to create sustenance for yourself. That's pretty baller. But farming for gear in this game, yeah, that's not fun at all. That's bullshit. I am not enjoying this. We'll hit yonder jump, and then we'll come up here. Cool. We're gonna go until the experience bar is halfway to level 65. When it gets to that little 50% tick in the middle of the bar there, that's when we're gonna stop this episode, whether or not we have a shock Lyuda. One way or the other. Christ. Doesn't it seem ridiculous how low the drop rates are? And people cried when they raised them. I can't possibly comprehend that. For the life of me, I'm just trying to think of how that occurred. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Whatever. Hop in a vehicle here, and we're gonna make it to the top, and then that'll be wonderful, I guess. Perfect. Okay. He wants us to get away from the caravan. We're going to get closer to these guys, and I guess that gets us away from the caravan eventually. If I can get my vehicle out of here. Okay. This dude jumping in, and that'll be golden. If we can kill him. He looks like he has a torpedo, or some sort of rocket launching assault rifle. Kind of like this guy seems to have a Torg pistol. That's not fun. Quit moving, you fuck. Okay. Yeah, so probably 2 more runs, maybe 3. We'll see. Perhaps we'll end up getting that that shock Lyuda here at the very end. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. Probably not. There's probably going to be a 3rd episode in a row on Gettle and Mobley here because I need a shock Lyuda in order to complete my level up plan. Yeah, it's not ideal. Not ideal at all, to say the least. Not ideal. Oh, man. Okay. We're almost up here. Man, I'm going to have to go to bed soon. I'm yawning like a motherfucker. Okay, there's a house here. We're going to slag this dude, and then we're going to kill these dudes. You guys probably have never seen me kill these guys before. This is the first time we're ever farming them. So that's going to be sweet. If only their drop rate could be a little bit lower, that'd be wonderful. It's a shame that they don't more frequently spawn with damage over time weapons as well. That could be something that could really kind of put the icing on top of this particular situation that we're in. That would be top-notch. Oh my goodness. Okay. So far in this episode, we have moved from approximately 70-ish% of the way to level 64 to almost 50% of the way to level 65. We have also acquired 1 corrosive Lyuda. It is level 65. We cannot use it yet, but it is pretty cool. We got 1 corrosive Lyuda in this episode. In the previous episode, we got 1 fire Lyuda. So between that, we have 2 Lyudas in what I feel like was a pretty large amount of runs. You know, it was no small number here, that's for certain. It was a fairly large amount of these particular runs that we did here. Another one dead. He's gonna drop it this time, I'm feeling it. God fucking damn it. I hate the fact that he can jump like that. I hate that it has such a large radius. Drop a goddamn Lyuda, you piece of shit. Why? Just why not? You know what I mean? Like, why not? Why not drop one? For the life of me, I can't figure it out. I really, really can't. This is going to be our last run on this dude, that's for certain. For now. For this episode. Oh, good. That thing came right up to play with us, huh? Hey, at least we got some experience for it. Now we're at our experience goal, but we're still going to... Hey... we're still gonna use this one more time to get up there and kill him one more time. Why not? We're already spawned into the map, and so they're alive. You know, it's not as if we've already killed them, so we might as well kill them. Just because. And then in the next episode, we'll be doing the same thing. Try and find that goddamn shock Lyuda. Theoretically, it exists. It's possible that he may drop it. I have no confirmation of this, but I'm guessing. Okie doke. Ooh, that guy has a corrosive damage over time pistol, I thought. He's dead, though. I couldn't really tell. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. You bitch. Why not? You know? Whatever. This is the end, guys. Sorry about this episode, but we're kind of at the mercy of whatever the game wants to do, you know? So, as always, I thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. You'd see more exhilarating farming action like this in my awesome, legitimate playthrough, which is totally way better than Gibbed, right? Huh? Bye, guys.